We are very intentional about what we do on the job. We're intentional about who we do it with. We're intentional about how we do it. But when it comes to making decisions about when we do things, we don't take that decision seriously. We're not intentional enough. The Lusitania was a ship, a British ship in the early days of World War I that had to travel from New York back to England. Close to shore, it was hit by torpedoes from a German U-boat. The downing of the Lusitania is a story that is awash in controversy and conspiracy. But when we look at the facts of that case, I think there's a simpler, easier explanation, and it was this. The captain of the ship made some bad decisions, and he made those bad decisions because he made them in the afternoon. One of the most important things we know about making decisions is that our cognitive abilities don't stay the same throughout the day. Our cognitive abilities change, and they change in predictable ways. What we know is that most of us move through the day in 3 stages: a peak, a trough, and a recovery. During the peak, we're very good at analytic work. During the trough, we have a decline in mood, a decline in brain power. During the recovery, we have an uptick in mood and actually better at a different kind of brain power. So when it comes to important decisions, most of us should be making our important decisions in the morning or later in the day, but not in that afternoon trough. There's so much research on the change in performance over the course of a day, in particular how things go screwy in the afternoon. It turns out that anesthesia errors are 4 times more likely at 3 p.m. than at 9 a.m. If you look at colonoscopies, doctors find half as many polyps in afternoon exams as they do in morning exams for the same population. There's an important study out of Israel of judges making decisions about parole, and what they found was that your odds of getting parole were significantly higher earlier in the day. As the day progressed, your odds of getting parole dropped significantly. If you want to make better decisions, you need to know what your chronotype is and what type of a decision that it is. And so knowing your chronotype is key to figuring out when to do certain kinds of work. And all it is it's what's your natural state? Do you wake up early and go to sleep early? Do you wake up late and go to sleep late? When we try to decide what work to do at the right time of day, we're looking for something called the synchrony effect. And that's the synchrony between your type, your task, and your time. Analytic work in the peak, administrative work during the trough, and if it's a creative decision, you want to do it during the recovery. The design principles are that simple. So if you're an owl and you want to make an analytic decision, do it later in the day. If you want to make a creative decision, do it earlier in the day. If you're a lark or in the middle, exact opposite. For larks, I want you to make your analytic decisions in the morning during your peak, and I want you to make your creative insight decisions later in the day when you're a little bit looser. There are more extreme daily fluctuations in cognitive performance than we realize. The difference between the daily high point and the daily low point for all of us is significant. This is why it's so important to get the timing right.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.